CF Montreal has shocked the Canadian football world today as they have announced they will not exercise the contract option on Karifa Yao. That is right, for 22-year-old Canadian center back Karifa Yao, who has had a brilliant couple of years in the CPL for Calgary Cavalry, will not be heading back to his parent club CF Montreal after they've declined to exercise his contract option. And this is crazy news to any Canadian footballing fan who truly knows what Yao brings on the pitch and of course on his bright future in the game as well, as he is such an exciting young talent in the world of Canadian football. He is truly a prospect for the Canadian national team as well, especially for 2026, and it's truly exciting to see where he might end up now after leaving Montreal. And I'm going to be taking a deeper dive into which club would be the best fit for Karifa Yao and who I think he should truly go to next. But guys, CF Montreal also declined the option on James Pantemis, Canadian men's national team third goalkeeper, and this of course keeps up with the tradition on Unattached FC, and this is now truly a Canadian heritage. Before we dive into things deeper on Karifa Yao, make sure to drop down below in the comments. Let me know what you guys think on CF Montreal letting him go and where he might be going next, and your guys' best fit for Karifa Yao, whether it be Toronto FC, Vancouver Whitecaps, or even a move to Europe. Let me know in the comments. Also hit that like button and drop a sub down below. Hit that notifications, guys, because we're dropping all the best Canadian men's national team content on the channel, whether that's player profiles, player reviews, talking about match reactions, match previews, or even 5 things we learned from the match, or just in general Canadian men's national team content, as we have Canadian men's national team news videos daily, of course Canadian men's national team videos on the channel every single day. So make sure to sub to the channel, guys, and we're going to jump straight into Karifa Yao. Karifa Yao has been brilliant the past 2 seasons for Calgary Cavalry in the CPL. Of course, in his first year for Calgary, going into second place in the league, where they ended up getting 25 matches and 23 starts at a Karifa Yao, going 2,034 minutes for Calgary Cavalry in 21-22 season. And just this past season, in his 21 years of age, Cavalry had Karifa Yao going for 24 matches and 24 starts for 2,107 minutes, where he was able to add in with 3 goal contributions from center back, with a goal and 2 assists. Nonetheless, Karifa Yao has been absolutely brilliant. He's been a star in the CPL, absolutely brilliant player for Cavalry. Of course, was on loan for 2 seasons from CF Montreal, really creating an unbelievable center back here in Karifa Yao, a 22-year-old who is looking to take over for Kamal Miller and Alistair Johnston. And any Canadian men's national team fan truly knows that Alistair Johnston and Kamal Miller are almost 100% moving to Europe in January after the World Cup. They've had brilliant years for CF Montreal, coming second in the division and having a good, decent run in the playoffs as well. Should have been better, but they've both been tremendous for club and country, amazing for Canada as well, and truly deserving of that move away to Europe. And they're both expected to make that move in January. And everyone expected Karifa Yao to make that jump up to CF Montreal and probably take over one of their roles. But it looks like that will not be happening, of course, as Karifa Yao is now having to find a new home. The true question is, which club should he go to? Who should sign Karifa Yao? And he is amazing to have for so many reasons. A young, amazing Canadian men's national team prospect, fills out a Canadian quota, and is a great depth or starting piece right now with a great upside. Karifa Yao has a abundance of clubs you could probably choose. With how good he's been, a lot of clubs are going to want to sign him and have their eyes on him. For me, it's 2 clubs right now, Vancouver Whitecaps and Toronto FC. Of course, these are 2 great options for Karifa Yao, and for me, he is either the next man up on the bench or starting for one of these clubs. Of course, we know both of these clubs have extreme defensive issues, and especially at center back. Vancouver Whitecaps have a left center back role that needs to be fixed, and Toronto FC have so many holes, you can't stop listing them. And especially with Domenico Crescito leaving, more defensive reinforcements, the better. For me, Karifa Yao's best place to go right now is Toronto FC, but we're going to talk about Vancouver Whitecaps for a bit first. Vancouver Whitecaps offer a lot to him. He'd be probably the next man up off the bench. He'd be an amazing depth piece, and he'd also be able to fill in a Canadian quota. And of course, one thing I love with Canadian quota, or filling out your homegrown quota, or however it may be, it is brilliant that you're able to fill it with a quality player from the nation. If you're just filling it with a player or a youth prospect who's just there to fill in the quota, it's never great. You want to be able to fill it with someone who can contribute to the team, who's going to be able to give you something on and off the field, and Karifa Yao is truly one of those players who can do that. Fills in the Canadian quota and also gives a heck of a lot of quality to whichever club he goes to in Vancouver or Toronto. Vancouver also has a Canadian men's national team center back now in Derek Cornelius. Yes, he's on loan right now at Panathinaikos. He's having a great season in Greece with a mid-table Greece side. and has been announced that he will be coming back to Vancouver. But the true question is, does he stay? I really hope he doesn't. I think he goes back to Greece and they purchase him because he's been phenomenal for Panathinaikos. But if he does stay, this is great for Karifa Yao. Karifa Yao would then have someone to learn from. He'd have a Canadian men's national team center back to look up to be able to learn from on a daily basis, and especially in training, and could be the next man up behind Derek Cornelius. But for me, the best place is Toronto FC. Toronto FC for so many reasons. Yes, the Canadian quota is huge, but there's a lot of reasons I think he should end up at Toronto FC. Toronto FC need to do everything in their power to get Karifa Yao, and even James Pantemis, who has been let go by CF Montreal. For me, James Pantemis could be the starting goalkeeper and should be for Toronto FC after a very good year for CF Montreal, having great starts when he was in net. But Karifa Yao, for me, is amazing to go to Toronto FC. For me, he's number one guy off the bench for Toronto FC, or even starting. You look at Toronto FC right now, they have Daniil Henry, they have the likes of Lucas McNaughton, and it's a very interesting situation as they're doing a complete rebuild. They need a center back haul, and then they just need a backline haul in general. Of course, Tresito's left today, which is also a very interesting situation, and I do expect Lucas Cavallini to join Toronto FC. But this is the backline we're talking about here. Karifa Yao is a young 22-year-old defender, and for me, he's going to be the next man off the bench if he goes to Toronto FC or starting. And you also have to look at, like I talked about, Vancouver. Who is ahead of them? Yes, they'd have Derek Cornelius at Vancouver, but at Toronto FC, you have two Canadian men's national team center backs there, in Daniil Henry and Lucas McNaughton. Lucas McNaughton is the number one reason I think he should probably go to TFC. You got a CPLer, a former CPLer in Lucas McNaughton, who was phenomenal in the CPL, made the jump to Toronto FC. They took the gamble on him. He's been amazing for TFC in my opinion. I had an amazing stint for the national team at the Bahrain match as well in that friendly, and really gave himself a real shot at the World Cup, but unfortunately fell off short. But Karifa Yao would be amazing to go to TFC. He could learn off the likes of Lucas McNaughton on a daily basis. He'd have someone he can relate to, someone he could be friends with, a bit closer to, and it would just be a great fit. Two Canadian men's national team center backs and learn off on a daily basis. Amazing leader in Daniil Henry, a great player you could look up to there in Lucas McNaughton as well, and someone who knows the path he's followed as well. And Karifa Yao also would be able to fill a Canadian quota, like I said. He's a much needed player for Toronto FC in a great position of depth that they truly need. And also, a lot of other young Canadians that Toronto FC has, Karifa Yao would be able to fit in amazingly. Jaden Nelson, the likes of so many other players out there that they have. Kosi Thompson. There's so many you can just go down a list and name from Toronto FC. It's amazing. And there's also other Canadian men's national team players as well. Jonathan Osorio, the likes of so many more. Mark Anthony K. The list goes on. Like I said, Lucas Cavallini is probably going to end up there as well. There's so many reasons why Karifa Yao should end up at Toronto FC. Like I said, Canadian men's international players that are already in abundance that he can learn from. He already has a lot of young Canadian talent at Toronto FC. He can bond with and become mates with, and of course be able to learn from. He has center backs there who are on the national team that he can learn from on a daily basis. They're a great leader in Daniil Henry and a player who knows his path and be able to teach him and help him in Lucas McNaughton. It's a great fit, a perfect depth option, maybe a player can start, and a great spot for him to go in Toronto FC. If you want to go abroad, Ross County. Of course, two former Calgary Cavalry players there, and Victor Latore, and of course William Akio, and two other Canadians in the league, and David Witherspoon and Theo Bear, of course, with St. Johnson. I think the Scottish division would be great for him as well, but that's the only option I could see him going maybe in Europe. Could be exciting for him as well. Toronto FC for me, perfect spot for Karifa Yao. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Where should Karifa Yao end up? Make sure to enjoy the video, guys. Hit that sub button. I know you guys enjoy all the content we got coming up. So much exciting videos, so much stuff coming up. Also a center back breakdown coming tomorrow. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.